My name is James Faught, and I own a video production company here based in Southeast Missouri called Wild Story Productions. My pursuit of video production started quite a few years ago. I was actually out in the woods shed hunting in the spring and run across a guy that was also doing the same thing. And we got to talking about different things, and I had been involved in some photography things and had started getting into DSLR video. And turkey season was coming up, and in all our talks about, filming all this, he invited me to come along and film some turkey hunts with him and also turkey hunt. And I went and did that, and the first morning ended up myself killing a turkey with this guy's brother on camera. And once I saw the footage, granted it was on an old tape camera and it was pretty much junk compared to today's standards, but it lit something inside of me that I can't explain. So later that morning I went and filmed, this new friend of mine kill a turkey. And that turned into the next day we did it, and we spent all turkey season doing that. And it then became more of about the camera. By the end of that turkey season, it became more about the camera. Like, what could I do to make shots different? What could I do to bring Hollywood style or mainstream style shots to the hunting industry? So I started looking at some old films that were done like by Stanley Kubrick, and just the interesting way he used to compose shots and pull focus and all of these things really fascinated me. And that just snowballed into learning more about camera tech and learning more about camera technology, and really just turned into this crazy passion to not record hunts anymore, but to capture a story. We started doing more. I started working with a couple of small outdoor TV shows. Finally had the chance to put some footage that I filmed into a show just as a couple of segments in an outdoor show. And once I saw that on TV, I was like, this is real. I can really do this. So working with some of these small shows was really cool and everything, but it doesn't pay the bills. There's not a lot of money in that kind of stuff. So I decided, hey, I've got to do something with my life. I'd been working as an electrician and a few other capacities of contract type work, and decided that I needed to go to nursing school. So I spent 2 years in school, and once I graduated, got a really good paying job and realized, hey, I only work 3 days a week. What am I going to do with the other 4? I'm going to buy new camera gear. So working as a nurse was great money and everything, and it allowed me to travel a lot. But it got to the point to where I was booking so many freelance gigs that I had to kind of choose. It's either nursing or video production. So early on, kind of when I started making that transition, I had started looking for other ways to make money with my cameras at that time. And one of those ways was to reach out to businesses and shoot commercials, the little promo videos, and try to help them do social media, not necessarily run social media, but help them produce content to put on social media. Because, Facebook now at this time is starting to make a pretty sharp climb into the business world, not just for schools and things like that, but now it's really becoming a good tool to leverage for business. And as we all know now, it's an extremely good tool to leverage for business. So in all of that kind of kept getting busier and busier, and it came a point to where I was on the road headed to Kansas. Actually, I was in Kansas, headed across I-70. I'll never forget it. And was headed west to go film a waterfowl hunt. And I got a phone call that said, hey, did you know you're on the schedule to work? And I'd already made the decision to work PRN at the hospital. Well, they snuck in a day on me that I didn't know about. And I said, I'm in Kansas. I'm 3 days into a 12-day trip. I'm not going to be back 2 days from now. I'm not going to make it. So I made the decision then that I was just going to turn in my resignation. And it was probably one of the most relieving emails I've ever sent, but one of the most scary, because I just literally walked away from a really good career, a really good paying job, to pursue a business that I really didn't know anything about. The small business where it's the mom and pop shop or small town type stuff, that means the most to me. I love when we can produce a video or produce a piece of content for a client and they put it out on social media and then everybody falls in love with it. And seeing success with it is probably one of the most special things you could ever experience. And them saying, thank you, you helped us get 4 new clients this week. Like, that's what we live for. And it's the same with real estate photos and video. When an agent texts me and tells me that, hey, we just sold that listing on such and such road and it sold in 4 days after we did the photos, that means the world to us, because we do the photos to help them market the house to sell the listing for the client. In reality, we're working for a couple different clients. the homeowner and the listing agent, and possibly even the buying agent. They may, have seen the photos and fell in love with the house. So all of that is just very important to me, because I love seeing other people succeed based on what we've been able to help them to do. So I've got a client that I work with on a regular basis, and we were in a recent discussion about producing some commercials for them. And one thing that, he was asking, what does it need to look like, or what does it need to do? And I said, well, you tell me. What is your brand representing? What makes your company go around? And he kind of paused for a minute, and he started naming things like integrity, honesty, hardworking, hometown, small town, things like that, and started to paint this picture of his story. And so by the time we got done with the conversation, I said, look, you just wrote a commercial for yourself, because that's truly what we need to represent in anything we do for you. Is we need to represent those values that are important to you, like honesty, integrity, hardworking. So whatever we produce for somebody, we're truly just trying to tell their story, and that's it.